A couple different times in the school I saw people walking up to it and putting it in different positions and then watching people's reactions, and I also saw people like going up to it thinking it was like a sleep and like asking it to move during environment, and then I saw people like carrying it in their arms and like running down the halls, and yeah. You guys are fun. I know.
I know. I don't even know what to say.
It's just not terribly violent perhaps, but there's some affirmation from your peer group, so you do it a little bit more, and there's more laughter. That cycle is real. You know, I see it often in a variety of ways, and it's terrifying because it is an illustration to me of a few things about human nature. One is how powerfully influential our peers are, and how quickly you can move from doing something that seems reasonable to a point that it's not reasonable. And you don't, I don't know, it feels like sometimes part of our reasoning is skipped over when we're getting reinforcement. So a choice that we wouldn't make if we were just alone, we would make when we have others not even goading us, but just sort of responding.
I thought, you know, this is not a man. This is made out of plastic. I can hurt it, and it will not be affected. Like, whoever made this is going to be like, damn.
But it was realistic enough that I looked twice. And then, you know, partly because the posture it had was a little bit odd or disconcerting, because it was so sort of hunched over that if it had been a student, it would be kind of worrisome. But then I remember also having this response that that's a cool art project, because it looks, you know, close enough to a person that I'm checking it out. So that I recall distinctly. I remembered a time in the Commons walking into the Fanny Bryce room and seeing it and thinking to myself, that's something I haven't seen at this school before. That's pretty interesting. And yeah, and then I also do recall it being in the hallway here, in the main hallway. And there's nothing funny about the thought of a box cutter being stabbed into somebody's work and cut open, or particularly your own name having a box cutter stabbed into it.
And then the next day it was back there again, except it was in the Do Not Touch sign. Now I'm not saying either of you did this. Why do you think anyone would do that?
I mean, I don't think they would do it if it was a real person.
I don't know if you saw the news 2 days ago, but...
Well, not anyone at our school.
I think people like take it as a joke, and it's like a joke to be like really aggressive and like, oh, like,
Exactly.
like, oh, ha, we're gonna do this, like, we won't get in trouble, nobody will know we did
That's
it.
so weird
type
they
of
did
thing.
that,
Yeah,
though.
that is so weird.
Yeah.
Where did they get a knife?
Yeah.
So, if you knew this was made by a close friend of yours beforehand and you knew about what the project was, would you have acted differently?
Yeah, I think so. I would have respected it as a project.
And why is that?
Well, I don't want to, I mean, I don't want to wreck somebody's hard work, I guess, but it's a trap.
So what did you do when you first saw it?
I grabbed the fake man and I put him in a locker, so he was hanging outside.
Okay, can I ask why you did that?
Because it was hilarious.
Can I ask why it was hilarious?
Many seem to believe that my project has absolutely nothing to do with bullying. I would argue they couldn't be farther from the truth. In fact, I know from first-hand experience that when you're bullied, you feel no more human than my project would have if he was a real person. You feel like trash, you feel treated as trash. And you may not have been physically tortured like my sculpture has been, but you feel like people do not respect you enough to even consider you a human. You feel dead inside. And that's exactly what my project is. It's showing the world what it really looks like.